hip bone. The hip bone actually is consisting of 3 fused bone. 3 fused bone. 3 عظام لكن في شنو؟ bone واحد called hip bone or called innominate bone. The hip bone consisting of the upper part, was this part is called ilium. The anterior part is called pubic. And the most posterior inferior part is called ischium or ischium bone. These 3 bones meet at this region which is called acetabulum. So if we divide the acetabulum into 3 parts like this part belong to the ilium, this part belong to ischium, and this part belong to pubic bone. Okay? Again, these 3 bone forming the hip bone, ischium, ilium, and pubic bone. Starting with ilium bone, the ilium has outer surface. This is the outer surface. And inner surface. This is the inner surface of the ilium bone. This part of ilium is called iliac crest, and anteriorly with anterior superior iliac spine, and iliac crest posteriorly end with posterior superior iliac spine. Again, this is the iliac crest. This is the anterior superior iliac spine, and this is the posterior superior iliac spine. Just below the anterior superior iliac spine, we have other small spine, which is called anterior inferior iliac spine. And also posteriorly, we have posterior inferior iliac spine. We have 4 iliac spines: 2 anterior, superior and inferior, and 2 posterior, superior and inferior. Okay? This part is called iliopectineal line, consisting of arcuate line of the ilium and pectineal line of the pubic bone. All this part is called iliopectineal line, forming the lateral boundary of the pelvic brim or pelvic inlet. هنناقش النقطة دي في pelvic cavity. يبقى دي اسمها iliopectineal line. This is the superior ramus of the pubic bone. This part, superior ramus of the pubic bone. This part of the pubic bone is called pubic tubercle. This part is called pubic tubercle, and this part is called pubic crest. Pubic crest. This is the body of the pubis. Body of the pubis, and this is the inferior ramus of the pubic. The inferior ramus of the pubic continue with the ramus of the ischium to forming ischiopubic ramus. يبقى الحتة التحت دي كلها all this inferior part is called ischiopubic ramus. أعيد تاني. دي superior ramus of the pubic bone. دي pubic tubercle. This is a pubic crest. This is the body of the pubic bone, and this is the inferior ramus of the pubic bone. تمام؟ The ischium, continuing with the ischial ramus, this part is called the body of the ischium, and this is the ischial tuberosity. This part is called ischial spine. دي اسمها ischial spine. Again, ischial spine, ischial tuberosity, ischial body, and ischial ramus. This is the acetabulum, site of articulation with the head of femur. This joint is called hip joint, between the head of the femur and the acetabular cavity. This part is called acetabular notch. The acetabular cavity is deepened by acetabular labrum. Between the ischial spine and the posterior inferior iliac spine, we have greater sciatic notch through which emerge the piriformis muscle and sciatic nerve from the pelvic to the lower limb, to the gluteal region. يبقى دي اسمها greater sciatic notch. Cadaver, it transformed into greater sciatic foramen by presence of ligament called sacrotuberous and sacrospinous ligament. Sacrotuberous and sacrospinous ligament. يبقى دي اسمها greater sciatic notch. Between the ischial tuberosity and the ischial spine, this notch is called lesser sciatic notch. lesser sciatic notch. في الكدافر برضه بنسميها lesser sciatic foramen. اوكي؟ يبقى من هنا عندي greater sciatic foramen and lesser sciatic foramen. واضح؟ This foramen is called obturator foramen. Obturator foramen. Covered with membrane called obturator membrane. The most upper part من هنا ده called obturator canal. Obturator canal. يطلع بيه obturator nerve، يطلع بيه vessel. Obturator canal هنا ده. دي كلها كده اسمها obturator foramen. لحد هنا تمام؟ طيب. The muscles that attaching to the hip bone. Superiorly عندنا الاتاشمنت بتاع مين؟ abdominal muscle مش كده؟ superiorly في الإلياك كريست عندنا شنو؟ عندنا attachment للابdominal muscle anterior lateral abdominal wall external and internal oblique. Okay. The anterior superior iliac spine give origin to the sartorius. The anterior inferior iliac spine give origin to the rectus. Yes, rectus femoris. Continue with the pubic bone. This area of the pubic bone give origin to the pectineus muscle. عضلة اسمها شنو؟ pectineus muscle. This part of the pubic bone, just lateral to the pubic tubercle في الحتة دي هنا, give origin to the adductor longus. Below this area, we have the origin of adductor brevis. And the most inferior part is giving origin to the gracilis and adductor part of adductor magnus. يبقى على كده هنا الادكتر muscle attaching to the pubic bone. adductor muscle attached to the pubic bone. Okay. Continue with the adductor part. You can follow the origin of muscle from the ischial tuberosity. The ischial tuberosity is the common origin for the hamstring muscle. Hamstring muscle منو؟ عندي أول واحد hamstring part of the adductor magnus مش كده؟ عندي معاها semi tendinosus, semi membranosus and yes long head of biceps femoris. يبقى على كده الاسكيال تيوبروسيتي بتدينا اوريجين لمنو؟ بتدينا اوريجين للهامسترين ماسل. كلام جميل جدا جدا. The outer surface من هنا سوري واضح كده؟
ايوه.
The outer surface of the ilium. The outer surface of the ilium giving origin for the gluteus maximus, medius, and minimus. يبقى gluteal muscle originating from when? From the outer surface. From the outer surface. This first for articulation with the sacrum. Joint اللي بيجي هنا ده اسمه sacro iliac joint between this surface of the ilium and the sacrum. الحتة دي اسمها sacro iliac joint. sacro iliac joint. المفصل بعدين هيتكون في الحتة دي اسمه sacro iliac joint. كلام جميل. هنا from the inner surface of the obturator membrane and the margin of the obturator foramen بتجينا عضلة اسمها obturator internus و from the outer surface بتجينا عضلة اسمها obturator externus. اوكي